We admit millions of Americans really should move abroad. Hello and welcome to Our Retire Early Lifestyle. Reality has shown us very clearly that most people are not suited to live abroad longer than 2 to 5 years because of various reasons we share all the time on this channel. But a minority of folks seem to enjoy living their life abroad, and some of them even say they'll never move back to their home country. I don't know how they would know that, but perhaps they have a crystal ball and can see into the future. Clearly, when a person feels as if they have no need or reason to move back, that is understandable. But we can never predict how we may feel a few years later. Never say never, right? Don't burn your bridges. Certain circumstances in a person's life will actually have them move abroad and never return. Who is this type of person, and what are the circumstances, and does this fit your lifestyle too? We've talked a little bit about some of the reasons Americans actually stay abroad, and today we're going to share some shocking new details to give you a better view of why multitudes of Americans move abroad and never return. The escapists. Escapists escape from their problems and realities of life by moving to another country where their previous problems and challenges don't exist for them. Some escapists may be running from a bad marriage or running from a crime they committed, or some are just escaping from what they perceive as negative environment. Whatever that might be. Whatever they are escaping from, it is something in their past or present, and living far, far away from those problems allows them the freedom to not have to face their problems and realities of life. Sometimes life is just not fair or equitable, and that's why some people can live indefinitely in a foreign country, never to return. Many escapists start out living in Mexico or other Latin American countries that are easy to get into because some of these escapists probably don't go through the visa route. Just saying. Escapists usually speak the language of the country they move to because they've lived there for so long, and eventually they just learn it. Married to a foreigner. If you marry someone from another country, there is a good chance you will probably end up traveling to that country for a vacation. And there is also a high chance you might fall in love with your spouse's country. And that gives way to the possibility that you move there and make it your everlasting home. Some Americans that live abroad married Europeans, for instance, had children, and now live in one of the EU countries with their families. Some folks went abroad and married a spouse from the Philippines or Colombia or Thailand or any of the vast arrays of countries in the world and have now made it their home. Bottom line, if you are married to a person from another country and you both feel the same way about moving to that country permanently, you should move to your spouse's country. If Frank said, "Honey, let's move to Italy," I would most assuredly say, "Yes, I'll move to Italy with you." But instead, we decided to live in the USA, and so here we are. But of course, I would follow my husband to Italy. I actually adored everything about Italy. The Italians are a unique people, and they really do care about the cleanliness and freshness of their food. Italy was the very first country that came out publicly and said there will be no insects in our food. Italians are also friendly and sociable. So far, no Italians have said tourists or expats go home. Not yet, anyway. Anti-American. As hard as it is to believe, there are plenty of Americans that don't like their own country. They have to have everything their way or there is no way. These are the types of people that are close-minded to America's founding principles and values. And as we can plainly see, America is working towards reestablishing its roots back to its historical founding. Therefore, there will be more Americans looking to potentially leave, but they better do the research because a lot of countries are following in the footsteps of the USA of America. Italy, for instance, is not going to be freer as far as DEI activities are concerned, and many other countries are in the same boat. What you don't know won't hurt you until it does. Anti-American folks are the Americans who were, yes, that's right, who were past tense, trying really hard to reinvent America into what they thought it should be rather than what it was founded on. Regrettably for them, the real American people, the ones that love their country and its founding principles, weren't having any part of that, and that's why we're where we're at today. And unfortunately, these types of folks, when they move to another country, they do the same thing in that country, where they try to change laws, cultures, and customs to fit into their own ideals and not necessarily what that country was established on. These would be the same type of folks that move from California to Texas or Florida and then engage in those same behaviors. We've seen this with our own eyes when we lived in Ecuador and even made a video about it. Ecuador, during the big boom of 2012 through 2017, after it was named the best place to live in the world for 3 years in a row, actually changed ordinances and cultural customs of the Latin way of life because a group of American expats complained to the Cuenca, Ecuador government. The whole landscape of Ecuador changed from quaint and unique to a little America. And we've also seen people from other countries do the same thing, so it's not just an American thing. Immigration purposes. Many Americans have moved to other countries such as the UK, Canada, Germany, and Australia because these countries at one time also provided great career, financial, and business opportunities for them. If it was a long-term opportunity, many Americans migrated with their spouses and children. This type of immigration describes the huge migration that we saw coming to America in the 20th century. Why do you think major cities in the USA have a Little Italy and Chinatown neighborhoods? These are the folks that didn't move to America to be an expat and go back to their home countries after 2 to 5 years like expats do. They came here because of the opportunity to open up shop and make a life for themselves in a freer country, and they did that. And these businesses are handed down to the next generation. America has always been considered the land of opportunity for everyone, not just American citizens. In the same way, many of these American immigrants that have been living and working in Germany, UK, Australia, and Canada, and some of these other countries love being just where they're at, and they consider it their home. Many retired Americans love living in Mexico because the weather is great and they live off their Social Security or pension. But it's not cheap anymore in Mexico. Expats in Mexico also like that the USA is just a hop, skip, and a jump from back home. Many of these expats may spend 6 months in Mexico and 6 months in the USA, which is an ideal lifestyle for them. And so again, some Americans have genuine reasons to migrate to other countries and have been living there for a long time, and it's their home. Travel and retire abroad media and the country influencers. These are the folks that have vested interests, and so of course they're going to promote and pump certain countries and entice people to buy their real estate. These are the folks that seem to exhibit the most contentment and happiness. That is, while they're there vlogging. We've seen so many of these do a 180 after just a few years, however. They quietly slip away out of that country that just before was the best place since sliced bread, and just as if nothing happened or for no apparent reason at all, they are quite happy and content promoting some other area now. We do know better, don't we? But how many naive expat wannabes are fooled by that, you ask? A lot. Here's a true story. About 10 years ago, one of the most popular bloggers promoting everything about Cuenca, Ecuador was having some pre-existing health issues crop up in his life, and getting infected with parasites all the time probably did not make his health any better. In fact, parasitic infections can make your condition worse, and it did. And then the family got robbed at gunpoint in front of their house, and that scary episode, and with his declining health, they decided to move back to their home country of Canada for his medical care. And it was after that he started losing credibility because he always promoted the medical system in Cuenca, Ecuador on his blog. But here he was, moving back to Canada for health reason. And the most ridiculous part was that they were still promoting the country they left, which was Ecuador, while they were back in their home country of Canada as if nothing had changed. Yes, their Ecuador website was still spinning an income. Many expats were confused, though. They were asking, what's wrong with the medical in Cuenca, Ecuador that you had to move back to Canada for? Of course, we never had to ask such questions because, well, we knew. I share this story with you just so you can see that most of these country pushers and travel enticers, influencers, are from North America that have moved abroad, and if and when they move back to North America, it could harm their credibility immensely. To summarize, this is a group of people that has been steadily growing, and their numbers are increasing and should be reckoned with. They will appear to have moved abroad, lock, stock, and barrel. They will do so to jumpstart their travel vlogging career. They make a pretense of how great their decision was and the country they are currently promoting until they build up a good following and a good income from it. Then all bets are off. Bye-bye, previous viewers. Hello, diversified following. But anyway, here is the recap of why millions of Americans should move abroad. Married to a foreigner, escapist, immigration purposes, work in the travel and retire abroad media, and the influencers. And just a quick note to say, these listed reasons are what is already happening and in numbers to be reckoned with. Listing them here does not necessarily mean we agree. Do you fall into one of these camps? You should move abroad. Like we always say, no one's trying to keep anyone from moving abroad. Please go now and fulfill your dreams. That's all for this video. Take care and bye-bye.